I'm on silent. Welcome to the Center of Light. Good to see you. Tonight we're going to be speaking about omnipresence in the cave of Samadhi. What is Samadhi? Conscious union with God, at least the intention for. I've been doing this series. I did it for about a year, off and on for a year. And then I had some issues, so I decided to bring it back. And it's good to be back. When you come into the cave of Samadhi, leave your shoes and your religion at the entrance. You won't need either. Because what you're walking on is sacred ground. You won't need your religion. Not only your religion is a theology, but your religion, that which you believe to be good, right, wrong, sacred, holy, blasphemous, in, out, left, right, up, down. It's all going to be shattered in the presence of the Absolute. Just like that. In fact, in the light and presence of the Absolute, everything you bring with you, what you think is important, simply does this. It becomes not only illuminated, but overshined by the light. Welcome tonight to the cave of Samadhi. We're speaking about omnipresence. Take your time. I'm going to be here for a while. If you would, whoever you are, I got some new technology. Always new technology. In fact, Center of Light, spiritual technologies. But I just got my computer back from a techie friend who gave me some more up the wazoo, some more RAM. So I'm able to output. So welcome everyone on Periscope as well as Twitter. So I'm able to add what's called another output, Facebook, YouTube, and now Twitter and Periscope. So I got a little bit more to go, and I'm going to be fully packed, full belt of artillery and arsenal. But I'm glad you're here. Share this because I had something go wonky. In fact, it's not even on my wall as the automatic play. It disappeared from every place I posted. So if you're here, thank you very much. Please share this where you can. I want to acknowledge those who are here. Let's see who's here. And if you're here from afar, please come a little more near so I can say hello, how you are. Callan Ronaldo, what's up, precious? I'm going to Florida. Are you going to do a road trip and meet me in Florida? At Melbourne, Florida, Halloween night through November 1st. Doing a presentation there. We're going to have a booth there. So tonight we're going to dwell in the cave of Samadhi of omnipresence. My most recent presentation was omniscience. Of course, the next one that's coming is omnipotence. Omni, the three omnis, the trinity of the omnis. I feel, for the sake of the human mind, that there is a chronological order of the omnis. Omniscience. I have to know first, understand first, integrate, know what I need to do. Okay, so now that I know what to do, I've been doing it. Now I'm starting to see the omnipresence of God. The omnipresence of myself, rather. Call it God, it's your best possibility. But I'm beginning to see because of the knowledge, the omniscience, the information, being in a formation, the information, that which is information leads to knowledge. Knowledge equals power, equals freedom, equals bliss. And when we understand omniscience, omnipresence, then we can move into omnipotence, which means not only do I have knowledge, I understand that everything around me, use the force, Luke, it's all around you. I can draw in myself. And then I gain power because I have the power of the collective on my tool belt. And I can pull it out at any time. But that's not really how it works. You don't withdraw from your tool belt. I'm just having fun. Power. You sit in power. You're in the seat of power. And I don't mean seat of erroneous power. That's not power at all. That's manipulation, lies, and deception. I'm talking about, I have no will of my own. Who is this me that has no will of its own? The me that I think I am. So it's called surrender. And in the surrendering, we tap into the source or the essence of who and what we really are. And then we are moved by the divine finger. You do this. And you say, yes. You do this. And you say, yes. Can I have some more of that, please? And Spirit says, yes. And then you open yourself up for greater upon greater upon greater possibilities. Let me look around at my new forums to see what's happening. I'm excited. I'm like a little puppy dog in the window about to get bought. Fantastic. Everything's operating smoothly. I have no drop frames. This is a lot for me. Hello, everyone. I see 5 of you, but only... Hello, Kelly Bird. Good to see you. I had an issue with this new technology. It just dropped my postings from the rooms, which I'm glad you're here. And that's all that is required is you and I. So tonight we're speaking about, in the cave, omnipresence, that which is everywhere all the time and will never cease to be, nor will it ever let up. The last presentation I did was on omniscience, knowing. Do you know when you are in a state of knowing? Don't let your opinion fool you. It's a great deception. Well, Keith, this is just my perspective. You don't want to deny or be in denial either. So how do I know then? You know when you know. You absolutely know from soul to bones, unequivocally, this is the it. There is nothing else. When you look around, as I look out and about, and we see. Do we truly see? Do we truly see? Do we truly see? Do we truly see? Seeing is not only of the eyes, seeing can be of the ears, because seeing is a way of taking in information. See what I mean? Do you see? So tonight's presentation is going to require not only seeing, it's going to require looking, but not with being overshooting your target. By looking so hard to trying to find something. God is not something you find. You will never find God. Never. So stop trying. The more you try, well, Keith, that's not, it doesn't matter. You will never find God. God is not hiding, nor is it something far away. Far away. If you can't recognize God here now, you will never see it. And it takes seeing, vision, and the ability to look with absolute clarity. How can we see purity if we are not pure ourselves? We will always over or undershoot our target. We will never be on the mark, if you will. Is your life on the mark? I'm working on it, just like you. Tonight we're speaking about omnipresence, that which is everywhere. Not only everywhere, everything. I had someone a few years ago, many years ago, tell me, I think omnipresence means that everything is under God's influence. Well, that's a given fact. Everything is under God's influence, but I can take it to the next level. Well, how is that so? You take God's influence. Everything is under God's influence. The earth, the universe, the stars, the cosmos, the galaxies, all that cool esoteric stuff. You take God out of the equation itself. Do you think because of his influence, everything is going to continue? It'll start to continue to shut down in a flash of a light, in a moment, just like that. Take God out of the equation, nothing happens. Nothing exists. So it's creation ongoingly that sustains everything from beginning, which there is no beginning, present day, which all there is, and ending, which does not exist itself. So what we call the linear timeline is only presence. Omnipresence. And when you begin to see that, it becomes Christmas, Christ's Mass, the reborn of the Christ within all of us. The day Jesus was born, the Christ was born. It becomes Christmas every day. And then you receive your omnipresence versus omnipresence. So the task, if you are such an aspirant to live in the cave of Samadhi and have that level of devotion, is to shorten the intervals of when you are in the cave and when you are not. You can still have a 9-to-5 job and be in the cave. I understand the world is loud and it may dictate to all of us, and take us out of our space, our sacred, consecrated space. I get it. I understand. What is the magic and or the purpose or the reason I should be concerned at all whatsoever about omnipresence? God's going to take care of me, right? Absolutely he will. He, she, it, that thing, the source, unconditional love, consciousness, awareness. But the more you interplay, you engage yourself into that life stream, the more you will reap from it, because you are intending to be in the garden as long as possible versus you're just going to take care of me. I'm going to leave this world when you tell me I will, and so forth. You have a mighty influence. And when you become a conscious participant, conscious of the fragment that you know as you, when you become conscious of the fragment that you know as you, that is a stepping stone to become conscious of the all of you. Because you can never digest and or understand the majesty until you dwell, sustain, master the puny, the finite little self. In other words, to try to do otherwise is taking too much of a bite of a saltine cracker, and you will choke. You'll get thirsty because of the salt. Lot's wife turned into a pillar of salt because she didn't believe, and she turned around and looked at her past. It leaves you dehydrated. What does dehydration leave you with? The only possibility towards your mortality. So it's not about your mortality as if you're afraid to die. It's about the mortality of doing what you can ongoingly to have no more interruptions with the consciousness of your soul. Births and death's intentions are the same, to unify with God. Birth's intention is so that you can never be born again. Death's intention is so that you can never die again. Eternal life. So everything is always working in your favor. Do you ever savor such morsels, spiritual nuggets on your tongue, on your palate? Gordon Ramsay? It's ongoing. It has to become so second nature, automatic pilot, and or default in all of us that you just sit back and ride the cosmic conscious current. Everything you see, everything you touch, everything you taste, everything you smell, everything you feel, everything you think. Yes, you think. Higher, lower, doesn't matter. Everything you think. Everything without exception, except fear, is God. The chair you're sitting on, the voice you are hearing, the ear that's taking in this information, the temperature you feel on your skin. Someone is cooking food outside and you smell it. Your search for God is over, I tell you. No matter what anyone is selling it to be. You don't search for God, because in the searching for God is an intention to forever search, because I will never find it. I'm going to search. I understand the idea of what it means in this way, but are we not done with this way? Not that this way is bad, but don't we want something greater, higher, possible? So it's no longer about a searching. It's about engaging one's own infinite awareness. I'm not searching for God. It's here present before me. So now the question simply becomes, why can't I see it, feel it, be with it in a way that is simply present and always has been and never will not be? Those kinds of questions will get you in spiritual trouble on a double. You will escape that bubble at last. What do I need to do to be with you, which is me? So help me see that in my unity with thee, there's not two, but one. One. Just simply one. Sounds impossible? Good. It gives you something to strive for. Welcome to the human experience. It gives you something to do. Alleviates your boredom. You have been sitting in bliss since, I can't say this since the beginning of time. That's a misnomer. You've been sitting in bliss forever. Up and down, we all go. Why? Because eternity gets boring. Yeah, I did say that. You don't believe me? Equate eternity to an amusement park as a Ferris wheel. It's peaceful. It goes up, it goes down, like life. Up and down, and it's peaceful. We go to the ultimate heights and we go to the lowest of low. In a wheel, like a hamster. We want some excitement. How many times in your life when you went to an amusement park that you ran to the Ferris wheel? How many times in your life when you went to the amusement park did you run to the roller coaster? The one that scared the living bejesus out of you. Why? Because it's exhilarating. That's why you came to Earth, for the ride. Are you enjoying the ride? Are you falling inside deep enough to understand that you are sovereign? You are the it. There is nothing else. Salvation versus liberation. Sounds like the same thing? They're completely different. Hello, everyone. Melinda Lane. Hello, Sue. Hello, Kelly Bauman. Everyone, very soon, for those who have really supported my bestseller campaign, which was successful, I am going to do a Homecoming Crossing the Bridge to the Soul workshop, like I did mention. I have not forgotten about you. Let me look at my other platforms, see what's happening. Hello, beautiful Rena on YouTube land. Let me look on Twitter. I did say Twitter, not Twitter, but Twitter. Hello, everyone on Twitter. It's good to see you. Let me see what's happening on Periscope. Good. Everything's working. I have no glitches whatsoever. And my upgrade to 56 RAM, I'm going to 64. That's the ultimate. So I'm outputting. Power. Omnipotent is going to be my next presentation in this Trinity series. Omniscience, information is power. To be informed, to be in a form of information. Tonight is omnipresence. To understand and to integrate, digest, chew on, assimilate, process, apply in our life Not only can I see, I can see. I can really, really see. And in the seeing capacity that we've expanded into, oh my God, everyone is my ally. No one is my enemy. Even the son of a bitch in front of me that's pissing me off right now is teaching me something valuable. I don't have to like him in this moment, but next week, I'm going to reap the harvest. Thank you, son of a bitch. Do you see? Use the force, Luke. It's all around you. God is omnipresent. Loving you most when he's kicking you in your pants. It is kicking us in our pants. Do you see? So what does all this really mean, Keith? All these presentations you do, it's about stretching the muscle. What muscle? This one. Metaphorically. And expand and expand and expand to the balloon of your mind pops. That's what it's about. And when it finally does pop and you rest in the seat of the Spirit, you will be operating by default. Automatic pilot, second nature. Second nature, you will be in your original nature, not your first nature. I like that for numbers and a play on words. Second nature, not your first nature, your original nature. And 0. And O happens to be the first letter of the word original. Second nature, third person. Second nature is third person. First person means I came from 0 and now I see myself as an individual, 1. When you operate in the garden, the circle within you, the balance, the whole, the 0, the wholeness, which is divinity, you default back to 0. So you bypass going backwards towards 1 to the infinite self. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? It's easy. You're skipping and jumping timelines like a freaking time jumper. Because you are a time jumper. You are a time traveler. Always have been. Close your eyes, if you like. Think of something that happened 20 years ago. The first thing that pops in your mind. What did you just do? You left the present moment, didn't you? Because you closed your eyes and went to an event. The first one, that's probably the most important, at least for 20 years ago, that you thought of where you will forth and launch yourself into a space of creation. You launched yourself into the past, did you not? Was it not so real that you forgot about you being here with me in this moment? Hello, time traveler. Tesla you are, I tell you. It's easy. It's so crazy. It's beautiful. Kelly says, Yoda, I really want the baby that I saw at Walmart. Right? All right, I'm going to take a short pause. I'm going to play some really cool music. Welcome, everyone. Periscope, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. For those in the future, you're loved beyond measure. Let's see what I'm going to play. Why not perfect in every way? My spiritual group, Lavender Soul, comprised of members of the Memphis Symphony Orchestra. The music is gorgeous. Just like you are. I see you, Charlotte.
a choice to make, to promise yourself you'll celebrate. There's a time to trust, and a time to love, and a time to know who you are. So let the love of God on you. It's always been that way. It's time to celebrate who you are. Perfect in every plan to make, to promise yourself you'll celebrate. There's a time to love, and a time to trust, and a time to know you are loved. Time to know you are loved. So let the love of God on you. It's always been that way. It's time to celebrate what you are. It's time to celebrate who you are. It's time to celebrate that you are.
Welcome back to the cave. Leave your shoes and your religion at the cave entrance. Why would I do that? I need my Jesus, I need my Buddha, I need my Krishna, I need my Paramahansa, I need my mama. They will meet you there. They've never left you. In fact, they're waiting on you to show up, to show in, to show out, and to show off. Just show. Do you. Be in the moment. You have everything you need. But you leave these things, your shoes, having fun, and your religion. Your religion not only implies your theology, your children, keep them most important to me, of course. And because they are, that's why you go into the cave and you leave them alone for a while and stop being such a helicopter parent. So you find your solitude, your serenity, you surrender. And you fall into a space of devotion with God, the cave of samadhi. Samadhi means unity with God, at least the intent to. What is in there? Nothing. And why would I want to go in there? Because in the nothing is everything. In the nothing is everything. I know it sounds like word salad. Well, here's some spiritual salad dressing for you. Some spiritual ranch. Maybe go to a ranch. Maybe go to a beach. Get away. Go into the cave. Even if that cave for you is on a beach. But you don't have to go anywhere to be in the all of it. You have to invest the all of you wherever you go. And then you, in your graceful ambiance, I suggest that you create an altar in your house, a shrine, something that is most sacred. Listen to me. No, rather, listen to me by feeling me. Create a shrine, an altar, a space in your house. It can be this big or it can be this big. Because even if it's this big, if you're this big about the this big, it's going to be greater than however large you choose to make it. But on this altar, which will alter you, you put pictures of your children, pictures of your loved ones, parents, an accomplishment of yours. Yes, it's amazing to pat yourself on the back. I did a wonderful thing, and I'm proud of my accolade. No matter what anyone tells you, don't listen to the lie. You need to reward yourself and use it as a compass and a stepping stone and or a measurement stick to say, I've done this. I feel good about myself because I've done this. I've done this. And when I'm reminded that I've done this, it makes me more so want to become a better human being. Not a human doing, but a human being. So I don't have to do as much. I can just be versus more doing. Well, Keith, that's contradictory because all you do is do things. I do. But in all these doing of things, I'm very much a being of things. I found my cave, my love, my second nature, which is back to my original nature, as I said earlier, bypassing my first nature. The original, which happens to start with an O, original, which is O, the zero. What is that? Where is that? Why is that? And why can't I find it? I will tell you why you can't find it. Because you are constantly looking for it. You will never find God. I'm not saying don't look for God. I'm asking you to take what I'm offering to you in context. You will never find God if you are one of the intention of seeking God, because you're intending and seeking God as if there's never a journey, there's never an ending to this journey. The 1,000-year journey that you embarked upon many eons ago will only bring you back to right here, right now, where you are. So the journey almost becomes pointless, except simply for the sheer fun of it. Are you having any fun yet? You can bet that it's going to require you to be blissful, to live in bliss. You can't bring your misery into bliss and expect to be blissful. In fact, you won't be let into the party. Like it's 1999. Are you happy? Simply, are you happy? That's not enough for me. You might say, yes, Keith, I'm happy. Good. Let's level up. So let's level up again. Is happiness enough? Is bliss enough? Is ecstasy enough? Is nirvana enough? Those words describe the ultimate. But that's not the ultimate. It's the ultimate using those words as we understand it. But what I'm speaking about is your original nature, which surpasses all of that. It doesn't expect anything from anything to be blissful, happy, satisfied, gratified. None of that. It doesn't require any of that. In the being that I know of myself, I feel so free and liberated. Tonight is Center of Light, Omnipresence. Next presentation is going to be Omnipotence. I've done Omniscience. The knowing helps me to understand. I begin to understand the idea that I'm everywhere and everything is me. And when we integrate, then we begin to initiate is omniscience. Integrate is omnipresence. And graduation is omnipotence. Then you begin to feel the power of everything that you are, this second, this minute, this hour, forever. So we default back. What is coming down the timeline for all of us is nothing. Lots of expectation. Things will heighten and get a little wonky, to use a word, not as a prophecy or an affirmation, but wonky come October and November, early November, it's going to get loud. So instead of seeing this honestly as quiet because I'm so centered, or loud because I'm not centered and the world is just a noisy place. You can choose not to do that. You can see this. Consciousnesses. This is me, I'm a consciousness. This is my friend, they are consciousness. This is my other friends and they are consciousness. But what's happening is all of these consciousnesses are overlapping. So whether you're in the face of danger, do your best. The face of tyranny, do your best. The face of destruction, do your best to say, you are a consciousness, and you're trying to convince me in this moment that you not only matter, but that you have front seat and or priority, not only in my life, and you're trying to convince everybody else around me of your same nonsense. Guess what? I, as a living testimony, plant my finger on the earth to say that you are dissipating right before my very eyes. See? Before my very eyes. Do you see? When we make a different choice, a different contract, different agreement with reality, to be clear, we become clear. Until then, we won't be. Omnipresence. Everything you see, Donald Trump, Hillary, Joe Biden, Bernie, burn. Do you feel the burn yet? It's all you. And as long as you go into the political arena, the politics, the parlitricks, and the politricks, you will always find yourself as being duped. Because in that moment, we fall into idolatry. And not the one, God, that is my master, to where that all I see when I look around, here and forever after, is the truth. Do you see the truth? I do, Keith. Fantastic. It's not about me grading you. It's about you using what I offer, you and I, as a springboard to each other, as a scale to say, I do touch these magical spaces in myself. That is freaking fantastic. Truly it is. Most people live in misery and quandary. So your final task, your final level up, level in, which is up, which is forward, which is toward, inward is upward, which is forward, which is toward, is just stretch, as I said earlier, to where you burst the balloon, the prison, and you go from salvation, waiting on someone to do it for you, to liberation, to you doing it for yourself. Isn't that beautiful? That you have been entrusted and given so much power that no one is going to do it for you. Seek ye the kingdom of God within. I am in my Father is in me, and I am in you. In the future, you will do greater works than I can ever possibly. How could that be if the Master spoke that himself? It's offering you the ability to see for yourself. Give a man a fish, he will eat for a day. Teach him how, he will fish for a lifetime. Likewise, I'm offering you a salmon, a trout, a catfish if you live in the Bible Belt and the South, spiritual manna. What do I need to see? What do I need to eat from you in the form of words, information, inspiration that I can taste, salivate, drool over, digest, assimilate, and process and apply? Only when you apply yourself in this way will you begin to see that there's nothing that is not thee. Nothing. The taste in your mouth, the words that you're hearing, the feeling on your skin, the chair or the bed that you're sitting on or laying on. Your search for God, trust me when I tell you, is over. How do you find God? You find God when you find yourself. God is not a destination. God is a realization. Because it's here now. And if you can't see God here now, you will never see it. Never. There is no other way. Sorry to burst your bubble. My condolences to your spiritual ideas. My dears, you will never see God until you look in the mirror and see the presence of God, which makes up everything, including what looks like you when you see your reflection in that mirror. Mirror, mirror, what do you see? Do you see? Omnipresence. Everything about you, around you, in and out, up and down you is God. So why can't I see it? That is the question no one can ever answer for you but yourself. Why can't I see it? I can tell you why I can't see it as much as I live my life to be with. It doesn't apply for you. Some people like certain foods, some people like different foods. No one will ever agree, but we can all agree on to disagree that this doesn't work for me. So do the thing that you agree with, which is the common denominator of that which brings you absolute joy and bliss. Joy is evidence of the presence of God. So obviously, in the omnipresence of God, which is everything, everywhere, all the time, except fear, I can't see it because I'm not aligned. I'm afraid. Doesn't mean that God is not abounding. We're just resounding incessantly on that which is pounding in our head will only make us feel lethargic, without energy, dead. It's a dead consciousness. It's a dead world. Completely dead. What do you want? The truth? You want the truth? I'll give you the truth. Bold statement in it. I'll give you the truth. If God is omnipresent, present in all places at all times, here's the truth. If you look in a full, mirror, a mirror, as you're looking at yourself, since God is omnipresent, if you don't see that, you will never see anything that is beyond your present bandwidth of experience. It's physically, scientifically impossible. And when you treat yourself as such, and being so nice and reverent and devoted to such beauty that you see in yourself, that you might assume would be your salvation to see in someone that you think is going to save you, you become your own saving grace. Living in your own sacred, graceful, ambient space. Your face will glow. You will grow. Sis or bro, hither or thither, to or fro. You see, it's not hard. It's never been hard. It's never been hard. It will never be hard. It's not about sweat, 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 pray, 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 pray. But Keith, this goes against everything. How is your spiritual life working for you now? So it's not about sweat, sweat, sweat when you pray, 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 pray. You can still have the same tenacity, punch, fire, muster, will when you go. Instead of sweat, 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 pray, 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 you can go, I'm just going to be easy and lay here and be in this sacred, sweet, sensuous, beautiful space. It changes the whole game. There is a very big difference between salvation and liberation. Salvation is waiting to be let out of jail. Liberation is when you gather the tenacity, the punch, the power to kick the door open. Very big difference. Small, but monumental difference. Salvation is Save me, save me, save me, save me. Liberation is, I have the power to ensure I will never be in this situation ever in the scheme of forever, ever again. And Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, Paramahansa, Yogananda, your deceased loved ones say, we've been waiting on you. And suddenly through the silence of the new world appears. You see, again, it's never been hard. So if you're trying to find God, you will never find God because you have overshot your target, which is finding yourself. It will never happen. Simply never happen. I understand the talk and the dialogue and the language of finding God. I understand that. We're talking about pinpointing absolute vibration and intention. See inside, see the light and more. Lavender Soul. I'm looking for the right version. It may take me a couple of tries. I think this might be the one. Be right back. It didn't work.
Trust that I will guide you in whatever you do. Just remember to breathe and do your very best to live in love, give in love, be in love. And love you shall receive.
Hello, all you sexy human creatures. Welcome to Center of Light. Right off the get-go, share this to you all. It may reach someone who is reaching for the golden ring just like you. What is the golden ring? It's not what you think. It is what you want. It may come through the guise of what you think it is. Instead of going for the superficial aspect of it, when you move to the deeper layer, that which is meaningful, the real reason, it becomes the season of your harvest. I want you to be a joyful, sexy, beautiful human being. You owe me nothing. Gina says, it's cool, Keith. You demand. We're going to get real. It's yours for the taking. We're all looking for bliss. Burst of light. I'm going to empower you. I'm going to get down to some beeswax, cosmic broham, oink, to say I love you. Flagship Mother Earth, this way. Inward is upward, and that is forward. Powerful. Any thought that you have that is not of the highest ideal contains self-sabotage. Ride, Captain, ride upon your mystery ship. I'm holding on because I'm scared to death of the changes that are happening in the world, the changes that are happening within me, but I'm living in the old world paradigm and I'm going nowhere. I'm bored out of my skull. That's called insanity. I'm already feeling it come into every fiber of my being, though I have no idea about the future timeline of where this is going because I don't care. I just know that I am living in that joy in this moment, this way. In is the way out, where you are in your being, your experience. If you want joy, ecstasy, and peace beyond you've ever had in your being, because when you're inward, you don't need anything. And therefore, you have everything. Why would you believe anything when you can know everything? So now we went from this very tiny, minute little possibility of self to an explosion of infinite possibility in God. Metaphor for up. We always known God to be up. When we have these connections with spirit, then our life moves forward. Welcome to Center of Light. I love being me. I hope you love being you. Opportunity to look, to see. Being lightning in the illusion. Grounding, opening. Join me in this forever endeavor of becoming the infinite potential itself. The Bible, Peter being the rock. The storm can bitch. Being in center, there is no storm. Convincing, but it is drama. Roller coaster at an amusement park, it's fun. That's why you get on it, but it scares you shitless. You, the person strapped in the car, knows that you're just on a ride. Likewise, what's happening all around you? It's just a ride. Sometimes lightning strikes in the family. Sometimes lightning strikes in the world. I'm just like you. No different. Redirecting. Everything around us begins to change simply by our way of being. Christ, Buddha, Krishna, your great-grandmother, icon. My brother or sister said something yesterday that truly moved me. And because of what they said, they sparked an entire movement. Listen to what I'm telling you. John Doe or Jill Doe, they spilled their heart guts. Unity with an idea that is greater and higher. Bring the lightning to earth. We understand higher perception. Things do come along, knock us off of our center. And I recognize that I am off center. What am I going to do from that point? Am I going to continue to freak out? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I'm cognizant, intelligent, grounded. Compose yourself. The best ploy. Yes, it caught me off guard. You didn't see it coming. You don't have to see what's coming. You are the calm in the storm, no matter how much the storm wants to be. Like Peter, you become the rock. You become the lightning. Welcome back, y'all. Good to see you. Keith Anthony Blanchard. Yanava. Everything's backwards. Forgive me. Yanava. Ya, heart, God, fire, purification, will, power. Na is the mind. Hopefully, you're operating with one that is not only clear, but it's pure. Va is the backbone. Primordial, sacred seed syllable, self. That which you are, it's your original self. Not your first self, because right now this is your second self. I want to go back to the beginning. That would be the first self. That's where ignorance is born, because all there is self. The infinity of understanding, omnisciently, I understand. I understand that there's nothing that is not me. Center of light tonight is omnipresence. I am aware of the omnipresence of God that includes this bead, this chair, my voice, your hearing, your voice, your taste in your mouth, the feeling on your skin. It's everywhere. So there's no more searching for God. You don't have to look for God. It's happening all around you. So the question simply becomes, can you see? And I don't mean necessarily see. Can you see? Can you see? Seeing does not only imply the eyes. Seeing is a way of taking in information. Or you're able to simply live in default 0-point principle. Your original nature. Sometimes, Keith, I do. Fantastic. Good for you. There's no other work. You have to expand your awareness and expand yourself into this now moment to where all that exists is your cognizance, your conscious now moment awareness, and forever expanding into that, into greater and greater upon greater upon greater upon infinite greater possibilities. Do you see? Do you see? There is nothing else. I'm not asking you to escape the world. I'm asking you to move into the reality of the infinite principality and power that lives, resides, and dwells within you at the essence of what you and who you are. You are a rock star. You are on a rock called Earth in this infinite universe, and the entire gaze of the entire universe is on the Earth. And you're sitting in the front seat. You're the guy. You're the singer. Or the girl. You're the singer. Hey! I'm buying a stairway to heaven. Are you that person? You have to have that kind of fire, fun, love, life, passion about yourself to move into something very seriously, even though I was being very funny, but I was serious about it. I enjoyed every moment of being a goofball. Do you find yourself being a goofball? Be a goofball if that is a catalyst for you to live in that which makes you feel happy, on fire. Happiness, on fire, joyful, blissful, nirvana. These are words to describe in our human understanding what ultimate joy, bliss, nirvana, and ecstasy feels like. That actually doesn't paint the picture. Do you get the picture that's being drawn here? Do you see? It's beyond our scope of understanding. The peace that surpasses all understanding. There is a peace that surpasses human understanding. So think about the greatest, most powerful, peaceful moment in your life that you've ever had. Well, that's in your grasp. That's in your understanding, because you can recall it as to why you would possibly share it in this forum. I'm speaking about a peace that there are no words ever created to define, express, share. This is what I am speaking about. I'm talking about finding the grace that will allow you to springboard and or hover over the bullshit nonsense that causes resistance. I understand being the resistance in that regard. Be the resistance about those who want to oppress. Be careful about what you oppress. Because in your oppression, Or are you pressing upon yourself about some part of yourself that wants to oppress? Is not unconditional love about allowing things to be exactly how they are? I understand there's some point where we have to stand up to show an intention and take action about what we choose, by what we decree, so that we can let it be, but it requires you to absolutely see what you're doing and no longer screwing around. My lawyer in the past told me, no good deed goes unpunished. Chew on that spiritual stick of celery. No good deed goes unpunished. Hello, Rhonda. Hello, Wendy. Shusha. Carmen says, wow, that falsetto! You're funny. Thank you. No good deed goes unpunished. Said differently, whether you wish for a wonderful outcome, if your intention unconsciously is not aligned, it will come back and bite you in the boo-boo. This is the level of what's happening in the world. So what you do when you look out and about and you see all the riffraff, nonsense, and trouble, it's okay that you see it that way. When you're done with that, 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, don't let it go any longer. Just at least declare to yourself, I'm done with that. So in that moment, what you're doing is saying, I'm inviting something else. And that something else is seeing it as a consciousness. It's simply a consciousness. It can look like people, it can look like demons, dragons, reptiles, or lizards. It doesn't matter. That's all irrelevant. Because we're going into the level of the absolute to understand what omnipresence is. Yes, God does dwell in those bad people, the demons, the devils, the lizards, the reptilians. So our understanding of God has been completely erroneous. God is the perfect mirror that says, you can have whatever you want. And the more you put behind it, I will reinforce the fact that it will show up quicker and bigger. Just like you're asking me to give it to you. Are you conscious of how you are asking me to give you whatever it is you're asking? I want to be omnipresent. Salvation versus liberation. I want to experience not salvation because someone does it for me. The Lord helps those who help themselves. I want to become empowered, so I have to no longer have someone feed me with a fish, that they taught me how to fish, so that the rest of my life I can say, please bring me your sacred bread and your manna, so I can eat of the wellspring myself and become myself. Omnipresence. It's everything. The taste in your mouth, that which is around you, the feeling on your skin, what you're smelling, the chair you're sitting on. There's no more looking for God. I understand, again, insurance policy. I understand looking for God because I'm not there yet. I get it. But isn't the ultimate that if you can't find God here now, that you will never? Because if you think this is going to happen 10 years from now when you're in the cave of Samadhi, because I've been dedicating myself for 10 years. It's because you've been dedicating yourself for 10 years that finally allowed you to expand your spiritual consciousness, that you burst the balloon that sets you into a space of absolute liberation. So really, 10 years from now, you find yourself here, because 10 years from now, you'll find yourself there, and in that moment, you will be here. Do you see? It's a game that's being played on you. You have been run a game on for eons. So what does it require to get all of it here now? To simply be yourself. And you will. Well, what does that mean? You're already missing the point. If you're asking, well, Keith, I understand what it means to be myself. I understand what you said. But what does that really mean? You missed the point. It means to be yourself. All of it. If you want to wake up and take your clothes off and run down the street at midnight every night, that is being yourself. That drive in you says, you need to go do this. I'm not asking you to do something stupid, not use discernment. I'm asking you simply to be yourself. Regardless of what people think. Truly, literally being naked, exposed, vulnerable. You don't have to like me. From afar, you can still love me. That's why you want to like me, is because you love me. Doesn't mean we have to hang out. I love my family in South Louisiana, but we don't hang out. And because of my love for my family in South Louisiana, I see my omnipresence, even the omnipresence with my deceased loved ones. Because they're not deceased. They're with me in my auric field. That's why I feel no disconnect. So again, with my loved ones, they're not hiding, nor are they distant. God is not hiding, nor is God distant. Because we would say our deceased loved ones are with God. So it's synonymous. We're not seeing that which appears to be hiding and or distant, because it's here now. First lesson of this series, this trinity of omnis, was omniscience. We know that knowledge creates power, but we're going to put power at the bottom. Knowledge creates the understanding of omnipresence. My knowledge says, beyond my scope of understanding, because my scope of understanding has an outermost edge. I'm going to shatter that bubble for you right here, right now. I'm going to shut the monkey up, put him in his place. What I believe, through what I know currently, or believe currently, when I begin to know, I become empowered. And I understand that beyond the outermost edge of what my mind believes is possible, the question I pose is, what lies beyond the outermost edge? And then you automatically thrown into a riddle, just like that. Well, there's something beyond the outermost edge, but there's a wall. So what lies beyond that? That's called spirituality. Wanting to break through the illusion of the wall, bursting that balloon. Now you're dwelling into the kingdom. That which is mysterious, that which is mystical, that which is esoteric, beyond the physical, the realm of the spirit. But it will only allow those who hear it into the cave. See? So omniscience is information, putting you in a space of formation. You're in formation by information. Omnipresence says, with true and the truth, knowing that what lies beyond the outermost edge, there's always something else. If you believe there's always something more, then guess what? There's always something more. Then you begin to see yourself, even in those bad people. Because a diamond in a peanut butter jar is still a diamond. You have to clean the skunk, the stank, the gooky, cakey stuff off of it. It might require you to lick it off. But when you begin to understand, stand under something, the information, and I begin to see myself as connected to all of life, because I am alive, I'm living this life. Life is not about individual people. Life is the current that has always been, is now, and forever will be. Forever. You can't wrap your mind around it. Wrap your heart around forever. It will require such to ever be in such possibility. When you see yourself as connected to the all, we know that when everyone is connected, multiple collective consciousness has power. You can have 5 people build a house, or you can have 20 people build a house. What do you think is going to be not only more efficient, faster, effective, having more minds of the brilliance on the job? How do you think that's going to go down? Or go in, and go up, and go forward and toward something when you connect into the omnipotence. My next presentation is going to be about omnipotence. Center of light, the cave. Let me see what time it is. I think I'm going to do a short song break. If you want to stick around, I'm going to go into vessel mode. No, I'm going to go deep into the cave of samadhi and fall into the love, the sacred, spiritual central kiss of my divine parent. See, I'll share that with you. All you spiritual voyeurs. Why not divine lover? Let me find it. There we go. I'll see you shortly.
I will be with you always, until the end of time. You will never be alone. I am.
All of my life, all of my days, I feel you there beside me. All of my lives, all through my days, I've seen places far away. Wondering just when, time and again, I have come to know you. Wondering just when, time and again, you are there beside me. When I create, when I feel love, whenever I feel you with me, I celebrate times of my life. There is only you and me. Help me know that.
It is my will that you know me. I will not hide my love from you. You create your reality and every moment by your own perceptions, your judgments, actions. Peace is a state of mind. Bliss is a state of heart. Heaven is a state of being.
Deep in my heart, I know you're there. I can always feel you guiding my life to see the light that will lead me to the truth. When I create, when I feel love, whenever I feel you with me, I celebrate times of my life. There is only you and me. For you are my mother,
My soul.
my divine lover. I celebrate times of my life. There is only you and me. Help me live.
The last Lavender Soul song you heard, you hear Bernard and Stormy, the man, the woman, the male, the female. Bernard represents a person, a guy in this regard, a person, wanting to move into the cave of Samadhi. I want to be with you, God. And the divine principle in this regard happens to be Stormy, the lady counterpointing Bernard. When I create, when I feel love, whenever I feel you with me, I celebrate. I celebrate. She's answering back that there is a cosmic dance between child and parent. They're both celebrating homecoming, crossing the bridge to the soul. I'm celebrating I'm going home. Divine Parent is saying, I've been waiting you to come back home, my child. There is only you and me, which means there is no we. It's the relationship. Center of light, omnipresence. Do you feel yourself so connected to everything that you blame no one nor no thing for your happiness or your misery? I grumble a lot. I'm a grumbly person. No, I'm not. I can be grumbly. How's that? See, I'm still striving. I'm arriving to the same place as we all want to be. See, can it be so simple? If you can't figure something out, then don't try to figure it out. It's not meant to be figured out. It's meant to be figured in. It's the only way you're going to win. Sin upon sin upon sin, compounded, compacted into this vice grip. Well, Keith, I'm not necessarily Catholic or Christian. I mean, we all feel sin. Doesn't mean you are sin. You probably feel, you likely feel sin. How so? Well, you remember when you were born, the first thing that happened when you came out of the cosmic womb that looks like your mom, the first thing that happened is possibly you were spanked on your ass. How do you like that for an entrance into a world? What you expect is going to happen here, that your first impression was, well, Keith, that seems like, all right. And then over a period of years, when you touch that precious, gorgeous, sparkly thing on the coffee table that was from your mother's mother, she said, no, don't touch that. What do you think happens in all that? The ego is born, ego not because you're egotistical or arrogant. That's not what the ego is. The ego is how one feels about themselves and how they view the world. Which is, I am separate from that. I cannot touch that. Because the reason they touched it in the first place, because they didn't believe. They knew they had permission and that it was part of them to touch. They wanted to clutch it. It belonged to them. We were taught and bought differently. How much of that stuff still lingers? Residual energy inside of your unconscious matrix, because if you were conscious of it, it wouldn't exist. You would know to just delete it and say, I'm done with you. You no longer have a purpose here. In fact, you're hanging around and now you're starting to aggravate me. So in the aggravation of it, I'm just putting you aside saying, I'm going to find my inner blissful, peaceful space. Center of light, omnipresence. Let me go inside. Here you are. Where else can you be? Where else would you choose to be? Why would you want to be anywhere else or anyone else? Spirit sees you often entertaining the possibility of what your life would look like if you lived that particular lifestyle. Well, check this out already. That's exactly what you're living. You just don't see yourself that way as to why you're blaming other people for the joy you wish you had. Center of light, omnipresence. Are you present with yourself? Well, here's a gift for you, a shift for you, but you must sift through yourself to ever be able to see the simple wordplay, the gameplay, the play of the spirit. Hopefully you're able to digest, take it in, and or hear it however you choose as your input to do just that. Skinny, tall, short, or fat, It is all the same divine consciousness playing itself out in front of you and asking you, how do you feel about what you are seeing, doing, and or being? Do you feel slavery, or do you feel like you're in a state of being? Do you feel blind, or are you seeing? Over and over and over, the same information comes through, but from a different inflection, different introspection that it will require from all of you to see these different vibronics, these different vibrations, these different tonality shifts and changes, to understand the divine language, which simply changes, which sounds like the sameness. You may call your friend a dirty word, and it's okay, because they are your friend and they understand you. Try that with someone else, and it doesn't fly so well, does it? These are the subtle differences that are so monumental differences that Spirit is offering to you to engage, see, apply, understand, and see what it is, which is the power that you are truly wielding, whether you know that you're wielding it or not. Omnipresence. We understand that people piss you off. They should piss you off because it creates expansion. The truth is not a tincture, band-aid, nor salve. But your salvation in it all is when you choose liberation about yourself, which is wanting to integrate into the all. But I tell you, dear ones, it can be scary because it will require you to die physically if need be, but not necessarily. It requires you to die. What makes you most afraid about your physical death is not your physical death. It's your lack of understanding the part of you that you know is alive is going to die. See? It's not hard. You're not attached to the body, though you may claim to. And though you may be, but you're really not. You're attached to the idea of what you think is you is going to perish. And guess what? No matter how much you lay into this idea, that part of what you think is you is going to perish, is going to die. And you can have anxiety around that all you want, and it will haunt you for all of your days until you choose to realize, I am going to die. And through my death, I am going to truly live forever. I'm going to give forever. I'm going to give it to myself first so that I have myself so full inside that I will explode if I do not extend it to other beings, other seeings, other ways of beings. You will be no more alive until you die. You will never truly live until you die. You will never truly live until you die. The Christed one has proved that to you. Though his death seems literal, it was, it is, and will always be, but it is metaphorical. Are you applying this metaphor, this understanding, this principle to your life? In order for you to have greater upon greater, not only salvation, but rather liberation, you have to live in the elation of understanding that you are a sovereign being who has the potential for sovereign seeing. Do you see? And so you're sovereign free. My name is Keith Anthony Blanchard. You're loved beyond measure. It is my pleasure to be in this treasure trove we call reality. For 80 whatever years, if we're lucky, which is truly one grain of sand on the cosmic beach. Sort of an idea seems beyond our reach, but it's not. Again, if you're looking for God, you will never find it. Never find it. You will never find God. You will realize God when you realize that it's right here, right now? Are you right here, right now? And if you are, simply, you explode into conflagrations, creative conflagrations of divine light. And in all love, joy, power, and might, you simply rest. Rest assured, and what I'm telling you is true. I love you.